Hello and welcome to Bespoke Unit. My name is Rafael, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a deep dive on the Seiko 5 Sports SRPD95. Now the SRPD95 is a stainless steel version with a rubber mesh strap and a very cool kind of Sunray light gray / black dial. Anyways, I'll be getting into all those details and much more in the review, so let's get started. And here we have it, the Seiko 5 Sports SRPD95. Very nice watch. This one is obviously, as you can see, steel on the silicone strap, which we'll get into in a second. But here, let's begin here with the case. This is your traditional Seiko 5 Sports case. This is going to be officially, per the Seiko website, 42.5. I've found it to be slightly smaller, as you can see here. Obviously that crown at 4 o'clock makes it kind of difficult to measure the exact 9:3. I guess it's closer to 43 there. Depends on your on where you measure it. But again, a very nice size, very similar to the familiar Seiko SKX, which this one was intended to replace. Now thickness, as with the other Seiko 5 Sports, officially 13.4. Here I am measuring it at, yep, just about that, 13.4 to 13.5. And lug to lug, officially 46. And this one is one I've found to maybe be a little smaller. 40, no, maybe that's right on the money there. Nevertheless, a very nice size. This one fits quite well on the wrist, particularly on this strap, just because you can see that the strap does mold quite nicely and doesn't really stick out too far past the lugs here. One last measurement here. I know we all like to switch up the straps on our Seiko sports watches. 22, again, very common size. Surely you have some extra straps on there with a NATO rubber that you can easily put on here. Now, speaking of the straps, you can see here we have the straight through lugs or lug holes. Make it super easy to change the strap out, literally less than a minute to change it out. And most importantly, you're not going to be scratching the bottom of your lugs there. Keep that polished case nice and polished. Anyways, continuing on, you can see here that the lugs on the case are brushed. So there is a nice contrast here between the top of the lugs and the side of the case. We can see that throughout. There's also a nice chamfer there, again, between the top and the bottom. It's not too sharp, let's say, so it does provide some soft edges, which again I think are quite nice. We've got our diver's bezel. This one doesn't have a lot of play, which I think it's nice, makes it quite precise. Nice click there. Hasn't had much use yet. Again, I don't usually play around with the diver's bezel, so this one's not quite as smooth as it potentially could be. Nevertheless, nice click. And it's quite precise. I did have to push it back, so there is a little play, but good enough for me. Moving on to the dial. Here we have what I'm calling an off black dial, so it's not totally jet black. Let me get nice and close there. You can see, no, it looks black, but let me bring in a comparison here. This one, which is the SRPD96, again, we'll have reviews of this on the channel as well, so make sure to look out for that. You can see that the blacks aren't quite the same, or maybe it's just me, but nevertheless it's a very nice look. Here we have the applied indices. Here, let me go ahead and give this a nice, you guys can get a cleaner look at the dial there. We have applied indices. There you have that vintage patina look. It's Lumi-Bright per Seiko. It's a nice green. Once you get it charged up in the daylight, it does shine quite well. Something I like in this watch, the SRPD95, is this contrasting minute track. And it's usually what we would call the rehaut, mostly on Rolex watches, but certainly applies here as well. It does contrast nicely with that dial, as you can see. Again, that's not white, it's more like a cream color. Does match the indices quite nicely. I think it's quite a looker. And obviously we have the black printed minute track. One last detail here on the dial, the hands, trying to catch it there in the light. They have this very nice brush texture. All the other indices, all the other metal on the dial, let's say, save for the marquee of the brand there, look polished. The hands have this nice texture there, which I think is quite nice. Again, obviously the hands are also luminous, same as the dial, same as the seconds hand there, which you can see, and it has a nice red accent. Now we have here the date complication. Again, nice contrast there. That is a sharp white background, so it makes it super easy to read at a moment or at a glance. I do want to show you the different language on the date. Now I found this one is not made in Japan, but you can see their movement Japan. So just the movement of this watch is made in Japan. I'm not sure exactly where the case is made, but nevertheless, it's very well made. I've compared it with, again, this one is made in Japan completely, and the case is, exactly the same standards. I'm going to cycle here through the date so you can see Friday and then Viernes. So this one is clearly English and Spanish. A nice detail. Saturday is in blue, and Sunday is in red. So again, nice detail there. Now moving on to the strap, this is a silicone strap, as Seiko refers to it. Very different to what we're used to on, let's say, an SKX, where we had the wave strap with those undulations here. Those were kind of stiff. This, not at all, and it's actually quite nice. Makes for very pleasant wearing. Again, I think it's a nice size. This fits my wrist perfectly. I have no issue putting it on. The hardware here, brushed steel, very nice again, matches the case. On the underside, you'll see that there's this nice channel, smooth channel. It does have some slight depth to it, so it's not like the rubber is stuck to your hand or maybe prevents it from sweating a little bit, so you get nice airflow under there, which, again, a nice detail. Small, tiny details, but make for much more comfortable wear. Now, if you're wondering, the inspiration for this strap looks maybe kind of weird, and Seiko hasn't given it a name, which I'm surprised, to this texture, but it seems to be inspired by what's often known as a Milanese shark skin bracelet. You can see there. The texture is quite similar, but obviously I would argue it's much more comfortable to wear on the rubber, particularly because this rubber is so light, so pliable, and quite fun to wear. Now moving on to the back, we have here the movement, as you can see, again, a new aspect of the Seiko 5 Sports when compared to the SKX, for example, is the sapphire case back. We do have some nice printings there. Again, movement Japan. 10 bar, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, the watch is 100 meters water resistance, again, 10 bars. Non-screw down crown, but again, I've yet to have an issue with a diver watch where I took it diving and I went deeper than it was rated to. So I think 100 meters is more than enough. Back to the movement here, this is the 4R36, that's obviously a Seiko movement. 41 hours power reserve. Accuracy is about plus 45, minus 35 seconds per day. So, moderately accurate, at least for the price point. So I'm absolutely happy with that. New features of this movement as compared to older Seiko 5 movements is the fact that you have hand winding. I'm going to try to capture this on the microphone. I hope that went through. So that was me spinning it clockwise. I'm at position 0, so crown is all the way in. That means that I can wind the watch without having to wind it with my movement. So let's say it's been sitting for a while, I can just pick it up, wind it, set it, and then I'm ready to go. This was quite a pet peeve of mine with the previous SKX that these models of the Seiko 5 Sports are replacing. So that's certainly very nice. Again, this movement is made in Japan. The rest of the case is made outside of Japan. I'm sure they would indicate it. If it was a marketable name, they'd let you know, but I'm sure we'll find out, or somebody on some forum online is probably knows where they're made. Last point of the movement, and again, if not of the entire watch, the fact that you have hacking seconds. So if you're looking to line up with the reference time zone, pull out the crown to position 2, so you have 0, 1, and 2 for changing the time. And you see there that the seconds hand is completely halted, so again, does let you queue up with a reference time zone. Overall, very nice watch for the price point. I think it's hard to complain. Looks great. You can wear it with shorts, I have it here with a nice Oxford shirt. I think it looks great. There are some more, let's say, formal models in Seiko's the 5 Sports collection. This one is part of the Suits collection, which I found kind of interesting. The fact that they have a rubber strap, which is usually seen as super sporty on the Suits collection, but I think it works. Nevertheless, I think it works and makes for a very, very nice watch. And there you have it. That's our review of the sporty yet classy Seiko 5 Sports SRPD95. Now, if this review left you with any questions or comments, make sure to leave them in the section below. For the latest pricing on that specific model, check the links in the description. And as always, if you found the video useful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more wristwatch and men's lifestyle content. Once more, I'm Rafael. This is Bespoke Unit. Thanks for watching.